Welcome to HomeSymphony. Today, Stefan Tarara, our first concertmaster, is sitting here with me and is joining me for this conversation. Hi, Stefan. Nice to have you here.
Nice to have you here.
We're both some kind of dinosaurs of the Mannheim Philharmonic because you are part of this orchestra since its very beginning. When this orchestra played the first bars of Dvorak's Ninth Symphony, I remember back in 2010.
I remember that very well.
How did this orchestra develop over the past year from your point of view?
Well, it developed amazingly. It started already very good. We had good people at the beginning already, but of course we had to know each other better, and that's what happened with time now, because we just play better together. We know each other, and every concert it's just a joy to play.
I think also the tours are an important part of it. Of course, when an orchestra goes on tour and one gets to know each other, gets to know musicians say if you didn't drink together, you can't know each other. It's maybe also a bit like this, no?
It is for sure. It is. The personal aspect is in the music very important. So if you can speak together, music is speaking together. So if you can just get along, then well, it will be really good. And we are all friends, so that's why I think it sounds so great.
Speaking of musicians nowadays, I think somehow I have the impression that musicians have become more and more universal, in the point of view that there are not so many barriers anymore in the different fields of music making. You understand what I mean? Like, look at you. You are soloist. You play with remarkable conductors and orchestras as a soloist. You also have played with us as a soloist, and I hope to have you soon back here. You have incredible chamber music experience, concertmaster. I don't know, maybe you're teaching also. So it's a very broad horizon that nowadays a musician is having. Maybe in the past it was not so much, or just some very few little individuals, but generally if you're orchestra musicians, maybe you state orchestra musician. How do you see the musician of the 21st century?
Well, this is a very good point you ask, because for me actually this is nothing really new. Just like 50-60 years before, it was standard just to be a soloist. That's true, but let's look a little bit before. Let's look in times of Mozart, or I mean in that times of Bach's also, they were composers, they were teachers, they played different instruments even. They did like really everything. And for me it's important to be a real musician nowadays. You need to do this. For me the four fields are really important that you already told. This is being concertmaster, being or whatever, playing in an orchestra, teaching, being a soloist, and playing in chamber music. It's very important because you learn from each place. You learn to the other one, and yes, I think for me this is an important point of my life, to make all these fields, because this is what music is for. It's to play, to connect. This is it. And well, it was also composition back then. I can say very sure I won't do any composing. I tried it a little bit with a little cadenza, and well, it was fine, but it wasn't my thing. But otherwise, I love these fields, and I couldn't imagine being a musician without even one of these fields.
About speaking about connecting or how one field can influence the other, let's start with the concertmaster experience. Now it's your fourth year here at the Philharmonic as a concertmaster. I know that you're having also a lot of other experiences as concertmaster in different other orchestras. How did your personal development as a concertmaster over those past years go, and how would you see, or what would you define as the work of a concertmaster, and what is important for you?
Well, I learned a lot in these 4 years, I have to say. And the most that I learned being a concertmaster, it was here at the Mannheim Philharmonic Orchestra. This is really very sure. So for me, when I came in an orchestra, I wanted to play well. I wanted to play all the right notes, and when it's written forte, to play it really forte, and to make, you know, I mean, I was to give full energy, full everything. And then with time I learned that there are really other aspects that are much more important, mostly for the concertmaster, for the people in the front. It's important to lead. It's important to have somebody there that the other musicians in the orchestra, they can rely on. They can know when to play, how to play, and actually playing in the front is the most easy part. In the back is really the most difficult part, and in the front, I have to give the energy back to show them when they have to play, and to be really like the long arm of the conductor, and the like connecting arm to the people. But the real people who are really like the ones who lead in the musical way are the ones in the back.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with this. Also, when we work together, it's often that, well, what do we say? You have to read from the stand in front of you, but give the energy. No, so while sitting in the back, if you're sitting on the last stand, you have to give the energy for the next 4 stands before you or in front of you, but reading from the very first. So it's really, really hard and tough job.
That's what I'm saying.
Connecting this experience to chamber music and solo playing, how does it affect it?
It affects a lot, and it was a big important point for me, especially for the Sibelius violin concerto that I played many times recently, and I learned through playing in the orchestra how to play really as a good soloist, being part of the music. When I was young, I really played my part, and I made it how good I could, but I never really thought so much about what's going on actually in the orchestra. The orchestra part is not, it's never just accompaniment. It is part of the music, of course, and we have to play together. So for me, I realized that yes, it's playing together. And in the Sibelius violin concerto, my God, I found so many places that I can play together with the orchestra. It's not me as soloist and the orchestra. It's playing with the horn, playing with the oboe, playing with the violins. It's always playing with somebody.
Had you also made this experience? Well, this is from my point of view, for example, as working with a lot of soloists also, I made the experience with maybe ones who are a bit more experienced already, and the big generation. I had the great honor to work last project with Misha Maisky, but also with Johannes Moser and some others who really taught me a lot of how is actually this work between a soloist and the conductor working. Because I remember I was saying, well, I have to, do I have to catch here or there? And they were saying, no, you have to give it. Like, I'm waiting for you, and I'll play with you. And to have this security from a conductor's point of view, it's very interesting, because you know the good soloist, he trusts and he believes that you will understand his musical idea and serve it to him, but then he'll play with you. And what happens often when you work with young soloists that don't have this experience, it's a bit a game of catch me if you can. And I think that especially if you have this experience as a concertmaster and chamber musician, you get also this other point of view, how actually one has to play with a conductor and where are the possibilities.
Sure. You did a resume of what I wanted to say.
Let's speak about a painful subject. I think it's painful because nowadays it's really hard for young musicians to find their way. I mean, you're a very lucky person because you have really this broad horizon of possibilities. But a lot of young musicians, they know after their studies, I would like to get a job in an orchestra. and orchestra auditions have become a real tough thing. Why?
It's difficult. For one thing, it's difficult in the auditions that the musical system. It's like that music is just, it's not objective. It's not something that you can say he was 3 seconds faster than the other one. No, it's completely not like that. And
It shouldn't be like that.
it shouldn't be like that, exactly. But then everybody is different, and everybody feels the music different, also in the audience. And you have to convince a whole orchestra when you are playing that what you play is what they need, what they exactly search for. And this is very, very difficult in that moment.
It's also a taste thing, maybe a bit.
It's a lot of tasting. We are nowadays there are so many great artists in our age, so it's difficult because you have the different tastes, and it's good because I always say if you wouldn't have the different taste, then we would be just like computers. We could play a computer and he plays perfect, but it's extremely difficult, special for the orchestra to convince them. And then comes the second point. Most orchestras do the auditions behind the carpet, so you don't see
Behind the curtain.
behind the curtain. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. Yeah. And behind the curtain, and then you don't see. This is very good to just listen to the person, but sometimes also it's the personality that also matters and comes also from the look of somebody. And this is especially in now when we have YouTube and everything and television, and it's very important also how we look like and how we show also the music. And yeah, it's a tough job to
Especially
get.
for a leading job, I think it's very important, the choreographical point of view, not of its cheap way of meaning, but I think really of the way of leading, understanding, logically leading musically.
Completely. It's not a show what we do. This is very important, so that we are leading, and this is for the others to know when to play, and we have to move in all together. We have all together to move the same way, and then it comes exactly the same sound. This goes from moving to sound. It's one whole.
So, what is for you this experience at the Mannheim Philharmonic? What does it bring to you, and what would you maybe say to some other younger musicians that maybe are interested in coming to see this project? What would you tell?
Well, first of all, it's an amazing project to play amazing pieces. Just what pieces we play here, these are the big symphony pieces that all the professional orchestras are playing all the time, and we are preparing them for really like the biggest of biggest orchestras here. So this is for me the main point, that is just amazing to play in such great halls, to play such amazing program, and to learn to play in an orchestra. So I think for every young musician, it's very, very good to be here, to develop themselves and to learn a lot of things.
Well, big programs. This one is a very special one. I would say this is something that maybe if as a professional you're lucky enough to get to Vienna so that you can have it every year, but we chose this program also because we got invited to do it, not only in Mannheim, but we are having a small tour now. But Strauss, waltzes, polkas, not easy stuff. People would say, well, it's light to listen, so should be light to play. What are the hints and maybe also challenges such a program has?
Well, there are many hints. I think also the most difficult part of that is that everybody thinks it's easy. And you think, but you will see then it's not. Well, the hints, of course, are to get the perfect rhythm, the perfect dancing. We have to dance on that music, and I'm sure we will. But it's a difficult way, and we will do it. But it's all but not an easy program.
I think so too, because to find, especially when a music is very free. That's what I experienced. That always when something has a lot of changings, and they have to be in a very subtle and nice manner, and to get 63 people to do it at the same moment, on the same amount of risk, and not too much, not too little. It's actually very, very demanding.
But that's why we have such a great conductor.
Let's think about 2014. What shall we wish our audience and our viewers on HomeSymphony?
Well, lots of happiness and most of all, of course, health. This is for sure. But I hope that everybody can listen to music to his heart, because music for me is just the way to your heart. So I hope the audience can have a lot of music in 2014, and well, yeah.
And we hope that with HomeSymphony we can make it possible. We had last concert 10,000 viewers online, and we hope this time we already have the double, who knows, and from all over the world. So we wish you enjoy music, enjoy being in love with music, and enjoy staying with us in HomeSymphony.